Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's and thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. So this is what we're going to be making today, which is a really cute card, and it uses quite a few of the techniques that we've used on previous cards. So we have got ink blending, we've got heat embossing, but I'm going to show you how to do this with just plain white craft ink, and then we've just got a bit of bling to make it a bit more interesting and Christmassy. Now I have used the sequins for everything to add some interest, but you can of course use any sort of snowflakes or anything like that. So if you've got last year's snowflake sequins, they would be absolutely perfect. I was struggling to find something that didn't look too big and that was also white because I haven't ordered the sequins that I wanted yet, but there is some gorgeous sequins in the new catalogue. So what do you need to be able to make this? Let's move this out of the way. So I have got two pieces of card which are, so I've got two pieces of card which are, I think it's, my size is 13.5 by 9.5, but what will happen is I'll link in below and also on my website the sizes in my metric, your metric and Imperial. I have got a piece of red, real red, which is 1/2 centimetre larger and 1/4 inch larger than this one. So whatever size you're doing this, you want this to be either 1/4 inch or 1/2 centimetre bigger. And then I have got my normal card base size. So for me, that's 10.5 by 14.5. For everybody else, that's 14.8 by 10.5. But as I said, the measurements are linked in below. So I've already stamped the Merry Christmas from the Perfectly Plaid for my inside. So I'm just going to add that on. And as you can tell, I was having fun stamping. And let's see if this, so it's still quite warm here, so I don't know whether my ink will come out. And when I say ink, I mean glue. So I've just picked up my Tombow and I'm just going to add some to the sides and to the centre. And then I'm just going to put this into here so that my base is ready. So I've just stamped the Merry Christmas in real red, and that will go in there. So my card base is ready. I just need to do the decoration. So let's move this to one side. So the first thing that I am going to do is bring in another piece of card. And you may wonder why I'm going to do that. And that is actually because I want to ensure that there's actually some ink on my blending brush. So I've got my Mr. Moonlight blending brush, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put some ink on this one, and I will make this into a card later. So I'm just inking up my brush, taking the excess off on the side, just tap that. So I'm going to rub onto here. So I can make another card with this later. Okay, so most of my ink is now off. I'm going to put this away. So I'm going to take this piece of card and I'm just going to gently rub in circles, sort of in the middle of the card to create a background. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap card, so I'm going to use this one. And well, you may wonder why it's scrap, because I've been playing with it on the mic. So I've been playing with water trees. So I'm going to take my tree punch and I'm just going to punch a tree out from there. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to use this punch as a stencil. And what I'm also going to do is take a pair of scissors and put this back in. In fact, I might just only put this bit back in. So I don't really want this bit, so I'm going to put that back in, and I'm just going to take some tape. So I've just got some latex tape here, and I'm just going to stick that back in. So I have got another blending brush. So this is one of my mini ones. This is one of the ones that I got from Amazon. I think this is just purely a makeup brush. Now these are quite useful because they are narrower, so if you want to do patterns they are quite helpful. I do love the Stampin' Up! One though. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is take off my excess, and I'm going to make it quite light because I want to do the background trees first. So I'm going to take my stencil and I'm going to add a tree probably about here, and I'm just going to rub it on, and I'm going to do this really quite lightly. Sorry, I should say that I'm using Evening Evergreen. And then this time I'm going to take off the excess, and then I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to try and make this darker, like so. I'm going to do a light one again. At the back. I might do a super light one right at the very back to get rid of your excess. So there we go, we've got some trees on my card, and the next thing I'm going to do is put this away, take this out of the way. I'm going to, and this one, take my blended brush with Mr. Moonlight on again, and I'm just going to blend out the top of my scene. Okay, so I'm going to take my I'm going to take a scrap of real red, which I have here. Oh no, that's not my scrap of real red. That's my actual piece of real red. Let's put that to one side before I create it into something I shouldn't do. So I'm going to put this to one side a second. I'm going to move these out of the way. I don't need them right now. And I'm going to take a scrap of real red. So this is my scrap of real red. And I am going to take the Christmas cheer stamp, and I'm going to take a post-it note, and I'm going to cover up the bits I don't want, so I just want Christmas cheer. And then I have got my Whisper White craft ink, and I inked this up earlier, so hopefully it'll still be quite juicy. And I'm tapping that on. And I've just used the post-it note to cover up the bits of the stamp that I don't want to stamp. I just want the Christmas cheer. And I'm going to stamp that down here. So I'm just going to stamp and hold. And there I have a Christmas cheer image. So I am then going to cut this down. So you can use a trimmer or you can use your guillotine, whatever you have. I've got my trimmer out. So I'm going to go for 2 centimetres. And I'm just going to put that down. So I'm just going to change direction on this one, I think. So I have my Christmas cheer. And I'm not keen on this top bit. So what I might do is just give it a bit of a trim. And I'm going to take this down to keep it straight. And there isn't a problem, I'm just being ridiculous. So I must have made it so that the sentiment was slightly off. Let's just cut this bit down. Okay. I think that looks quite cool. So I'm going to add some sticky notes to this. As you can tell, I am talking absolute junk today because I meant dimensionals. So I have got some dimensionals here. Now, there are 2 choices to add to this. So the first one is you can use the actual dimensionals themselves. Or you could use the outside. So I'm going to use the actual dimensionals themselves. And then I'm just going to add some glue. I think we've already worked out that that's not working because it's too hot. So I'm just adding some Tombow. I'm going to take it off this piece of paper and put it on the actual grid paper. And hopefully that will mean that I can straighten that up. And then just turn this over and cut this off. So we've now got our sentiment on there. And then to add some snow bits, I have just got a gel pen, or you can use your chalk marker. She says because my gel pen isn't currently working very well. So let's take the chalk marker. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Right marker, chalk marker, and I'm just going to put dots around on the trees, and then as much snow as you wish. And then I'm going to take the detail glue. Move this out of the way. I'm causing chaos, leaving it everywhere. So I've got my detail glue and I've got my sequins for everything. And I am going to use the white ones which are in with the gold. And I'm going to take your pick tool. Now with this glue, you only really need a tiny little dot, because that will work to add your sequin to. So I'm hoping not to stick my head in here. Okay. And I'm just adding these to the dots. So I'm not sure whether you can see the glue, but the detail glue means that you've got little dots and they are added on there. So and then I'm just going to add some glue to the back of here. And then I'm going to bring back in my card. Nope. I'm going to add this on to my red piece. And then I'm going to add this on to my card. And now we have a finished card. So this was my original, which uses heat embossing, and this is my subsequent one. And you can change the trees around if you want to, or add different sequins. And this is the inside. So thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. As I said, all the measurements will be linked in below. They'll also be available on my blog, handmadehudsons.co.uk. Thank you. Bye.